Great to see everybody here. Thanks for coming out. I tell you, good news. Next week, my wife and I will be celebrating our 25th anniversary. So somebody recently asked me, what's the secret to success? That's besides the point. What about a lucky guy? Anyway, so I told my friend, every morning I wake up, I roll over to my wife, and I whisper an apology. So this morning, I whispered in her ear, I'm sorry, I left the wet towels in the bathroom. I whispered in her ear again, I'm sorry, I left the dirty dishes in the sink. And then I whispered in her ear, I said, I'm very sorry that I brought my girlfriend here tonight. But I tell you, my wife always messes with me. I asked her to go to the store and pick up a few items. The other day I said I wanted regular orange juice. So she came back with orange juice with pulp. I wanted regular creamy peanut butter. She came back with chunky style. I said I really need preparation H. She came back with Tabasco sauce. Oh man, what were you thinking? I tell you, we have a pet, and she really spoils this pet. This dog gets spa treatments every month. He goes to doggy daycare, and he eats only natural organic food. I get it, he's special, and I told her it's okay, but after a while I got to put my foot down. I refuse to pay for his bar mitzvah. I tell you, last week we went to Sleepy's to pick out a new mattress. I like mine soft. She likes hers hard. Like I haven't heard that before. I caught my son one day, he was 15 years old, in his bedroom. He had a deck of cards with naked women on it. I said, what kind of games do you play with these cards? He said, lots of solitaire. Boy, can you get me into that game? When he was about 15, 16, he was a star baseball player. For 2 weeks in a row on a Saturday, I would take him to practice, and there's nobody in the practice field. So I said, you got to talk to your coach. I said, what's going on over here? He said, I've been talking to him the last 2 weeks, and he's been telling me. And I said, what's he telling you? He says, practice has been moved to Tuesdays. I said, when are you going to tell me? Being married, you've got the in-laws and the outlaws. My mother-in-law, I really love her. She's a very special lady, but she never wants to be a burden to anybody. We were at the restaurant the other day, and the waiter says, coffee or tea? And she says, whatever easiest for you. So the waiter came out with an empty cup. My mother is the total opposite of my mother-in-law. This woman, when she go to a restaurant, all she wants to do is fight with the waiter. Don't rush me. The food's cold. Whatever, nothing goes well with her. So the waiter sent the meal out to her. She starts eating it and says, this is the worst Greek salad I ever ate. They said, but Mom, we're in a Chinese restaurant. Got invited to my boss's house for a party and decided to pick out something really special for him and his family. So I decided to buy some wine. Nowadays you can purchase wine that fits the persona of the people you're buying it for. So I bought the bottle of wine for my boss. It was Cranky Bastard Rosé. For his wife, I got Fat Ass Blonde. And for his 20-something obnoxious daughter, I got Royal Bitch Zinfandel. On the way out of the party, my boss gave me a bottle of Cabernet. You're fired. I tell you, I went to my mechanic the other day, and I can't trust my mechanic. Every time I go to him, the bill is never correct. I brought my vehicle in for service, and he handed me a bill and said, oil change, brakes adjusted, four-wheel tire rotation. I said, this is not right. He says, it's perfectly right to me. But I said, I drive a motorcycle. Never trust him again. Good news, I got to retire about 2 years ago, and I'm spending a lot of time traveling with my wife. Unfortunately, it's the orthopedist, the internist, and the pharmacy. Good news, though, is next week we're scheduled for a couple's colonoscopy. Believe it or not, when I was in high school, swim class, we were forced to swim naked. We had the fastest swim team in the nation. That's because we were trying to do distance laps away from our coach. I was on the fast checkout line the other day at Stop and Shop. I was bagging my groceries as this impatient woman behind me was scanning her items and sending it down the belt. I got home, my wife started to unpack the bags. She said, "Why did you buy tampons, vaginal cream, and Depends?" I said, "Whoa, wait a second, must have got mixed up. I feel bad for the other lady. She got my Rogaine Polident and my Tabasco sauce." Which still bothers me, by the way. Took my wife out to dinner the other night to a really nice restaurant, and she really embarrassed me, I'm sorry to say. When the waiter was serving coffee, she said to him, "What happened to those beautiful brown porcelain mugs you always serve coffee in?" The waiter said, "We no longer have them because they kept on disappearing." She said, "Oh my gosh, too bad, I needed one more to complete my set." And she said, "Don't worry, we'll find a different Denny's, don't worry." I took my first yoga class recently, and I'm really getting into yoga. I was practicing my poses the other day, and suddenly I lost my balance and I fell in front of a woman's lap. She got so angry at me, she ran to the conductor and threw me off the train. Appreciate it, folks. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.